Welcome to the Employee to Boss podcast, a podcast for everyone with an entrepreneurial spirit. Every week, I am joined by successful guests in all different industries and stages of business who will share what their experience was like transitioning from employee to boss. This is a resource for you if you're wanting to start a business, go all in on your side hustle, get to the next level in your thriving business, or just hear what it's like taking the leap to becoming your own boss. I'm your host, Haley Hayhurst, the owner of Espresso Podcast Production, a full-service podcast production agency specializing in editing, marketing, and strategy. Let's dive into today's topic. Hey, Toni, thank you so much for joining me on the Employee to Boss podcast. I am really excited to be talking all things Laughter Yoga and EFT with you today.
Thanks, Haley. I'm really excited to be here with you as well and to share these magical things that I have to share with everybody.
Yeah, so the way we met was at a Chamber of Commerce event, and I learned what you did, Laughing Yoga, and I have very fond memories of, I grew up in Las Vegas. I always went to Laguna Beach growing up, and I would see these people on the beach laughing in a circle. And the first time I saw it, I was with my parents and my sister, and we were all like, what is going on here? Like, what is that? So we would go to Laguna time after time. And one year we went, they were still there laughing, and we sat down with them. They were so inviting. They were like, laugh with us. And at first we were all really hesitant of like, what is going on? Like, it just, you don't see it all the time, right? And we did, and it was fun. And then that was the last time I ever thought about it until I met you, and it brought up these memories again, and it was really sweet.
Yeah, no, I remember meeting you at that event and just kind of like, I know that guy, I haven't met him personally, but they are still doing it. The Laguna Beach, however many years later it is for you,
Yeah.
they still do it, I think, still every day. He's one of the biggest. His name's Jeff, and it's magical. But a lot of people are like, yeah, let me try, because that's their thing. But a lot of people will be like,
Well, it's like you have to put yourself out there, right? It's kind of
yeah,
it's different.
exactly. Yeah, it becomes real really fast. It's the same mirror neurons that we have in our brain that make you smile at somebody when you're walking down the street and they smile at you, and you smile before you even decide to smile. It's the same thing. When you're laughing, it starts fake, like in quotes, fake, but it's real within no time because you're laughing with other people. And that's what happens. And it's just really, really good for you. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I know everyone is wondering, how did you get into this? So tell us your story from employee to boss.
Yeah. So my story, I'll try and make it short because the braces, I'm not really that young. They just help. And when I wear the pigtails, it helps even more. But so I went to school for computer science and, graduated. I was a programmer, but it wasn't really a typical one where, like the stereotypical eating Cheetos in the closet, pumping out the code and not really interacting with anybody. I was doing like launch gifts and parties, and anytime that we had any social thing, the company parties, the corporate events, I would help. And I loved going to trade shows and talking to clients. So I look back and I kind of see but I was good at my job, right? I was pretty successful. And so after a while, I left and became a tech consultant. So, and that worked as well, right? But then I did my own company. I didn't have a company to help do all those other things. And then I got cancer, which I make sound very exciting, but it is not very exciting. Surviving cancer becomes your job, right? So your full-time job is getting well, beating it. And I'm happy to say that I'm like, what am I, 5 years in remission now? Past the 5-year mark is how they say it for breast cancer. But about 2 months after my last surgery, because there's multiple surgeries to get through this stuff, and I basically fell apart. My body just, something about the threat to your life just said, look, I need to expel, it broke some sort of seal that I had been holding on to for 40 plus years of like, without without giving too much detail, like everybody has some sort of baggage or level of trauma in their childhood, right? And I've have a much different perspective on trauma going through all of my training with the tapping and the EFT and everything that it took to come back from this pitfall. I don't know what else you would call it, because trauma is, it could be a tiny little thing, a little blip, like being left alone on the playground when you were 7. There's 4 aspects to trauma. It's unexpected. You are feeling alone and isolated. You are feeling powerless, and you think that it's a safety issue. You are afraid for your life, and it's all perceived. It doesn't have to be like 2 people could be in the same situation and come out with completely different. But if you don't process that, it sticks, right? So I used to think we overuse the word trauma. I no longer think that. There's just big and little t traumas. But I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know that I was like crying out emotions. And, I hadn't fully embraced the energy world per se. And so I fought it. I was like, what is happening? I don't want this. Why am I crying? I don't know. So I spiraled down into this hideous depression, anxiety hole. And in my efforts to claw myself out, I was trying everything and anything and everything. And laughter and EFT were not part of it. I found this after.
Mm.
I wish I had had it during. I did not. But I woke up a little and figured out who I was when I was having fun with a group of people that were in the same situation with me. We were working on, AKA, heavy group therapy type stuff, right? And we were using positive psychology, which is, embrace the good, go out and play, do things silly, access your inner child. And I was journaling a little bit later, and I was like, I'm a joy maker. I was just like, what is happening? I'm a joy maker. And so anyone who suffers knows that it's not like one and done. It's a journey out, just like it was a journey in, just like they say, enjoy the journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really joyful, but enjoy the journey. Oh, it used to drive me crazy when people would say, just enjoy the journey. I'm like, I don't like this journey. I don't want to be on this journey. Right. So I didn't know what to do. So I'm crawling out of this hole. I knew what to do when I was in a hole, which was nothing because I couldn't function. And I couldn't decide, did I want to go back to tech? And I was taking business courses. I was trying to, but I didn't know what I wanted to do instead, right? Like if I don't do the thing I'm good at and the thing I know, what do I do instead? And I finally like threw my hands up one day and I said, I went to an AI machine that was not machine, but the AI that was part of the business course that I was taking. The problem with that course was I had to know what I wanted to do so that it could help me do well, right?
Yeah.
And so I asked the AI and I said, I want to laugh, dance, play, and bring joy to others. What can I do for a living?
Mm-hmm.
And it actually answered, and they had quite a few different ideas, but it said laughter yoga. And I was like, what is this thing called laughter yoga? And that's how I found laughter yoga, was
Wow.
from, ironically, a tech service, right?
That's really cool. It's kind of like full circle right there, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I tried it, I certified in it, like certification in laughter, right?
I love it.
The thing. So that is how I found laughter yoga, was clawing my way out, realizing I needed to bring happiness
Hmm.
to myself and other people, and asking a computer what to do and how to do it.
That's
So,
that's
yeah.
amazing. Paint the picture for us. What does laughter yoga look like? Or if anyone is in Seattle or even not in Seattle, I know you do some online, but like what can people expect when they come to one of your meetings?
Well, so depending on the group, I tell the facts about why laughing on purpose is the same as laughing at something funny. Your body doesn't know the difference. It says she's laughing, so she must be happy, and it lowers stress. It increases your happy hormones. It's a Those hormones are your natural antidepressants and anxiety meds, the dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin and painkillers of endorphins. So I'll do a little kind of selling at the beginning, kind of because some people were dragged with their friend, or that might be
Yeah.
even a corporate event, right? Where I've been brought in and they call it forced fun. The
Forced fun.
forced fun, right? So, they're hanging back and they're, like, okay, I got to do this thing. But there's always enough people that are into it. And so then we will warm up by breathing, because the main part of this is it's called laughter yoga,
Hmm.
but we're not doing positions. We're not holding downward dog. We are breathing. We're using the deep breathing of yoga. And this came out of India in 1995. A doctor, Madan Kataria, he was researching laughter to help with his own issues and writing papers on laughter. And he started a laughter club. And he started it by walking around the parks. This is just a funny story. He woke up in the middle of the night and said, I need a laughter club. And a lot of people in the parks over there in Mumbai. And he walked around the parks, he and his wife, asking people, do you want to be in a laughter club? Do you want to be in a laughter club? And he got 3 people,
Okay.
which is not bad, actually, as I'm experiencing, especially in the Seattle area, on the east side in the Seattle area. But the 5 of them, his wife and the 3 people, started laughing in the park. And by the end of the first week, they had 40 people. And by the end of the second week, they had over 100, but they had run out of jokes. And so he said, give me one day. And overnight, he found the research that said that your body doesn't know the difference. And it lowers your cortisol, which increases your healing hormones and just all of the benefits. And so that's when it was kind of born, was in 1995. And his wife was a yoga instructor. And over there, it's mostly about breath.
Hmm.
So that's why it's called yoga. But what we do is we breathe. So I remind you how to breathe, deep breathing. And then there's like a warm up where you can open your lungs more. And because we're very shallow breathers, but you can turn anything into a laughter exercise. So then we will do some exercises. We might just raise our arms and then laugh it out as our exhale and use that to get more of the stale air out of your lungs. Or we might waddle around like penguins playing, because there's not enough to laugh at as adults,
Right.
especially in this world right now. And we don't play as much anymore either, right? So kids, they laugh 300 to 400 times a day up until age 4. And by the time we're adults, we laugh an average of 10 times a day, 10 to 15 times a day, depends on which research article you read, right? And that's kind of sad.
That's really sad.
It's really sad. And so we don't play enough, so we basically get goofy. And I will say, okay, now we're going to be alligators. All right, raise your hand. You're going to take a deep breath in. And we laugh for at least 10 seconds at a time, because that is how to maximize your benefits. And we try to get 10 to 15 minutes in, because that's another way that you need to, if you can get that much laughter in every day, you can truly raise your immunity. It helps with blood pressure. I mean, anything oxygen, lowered stress, increased oxygen, increased happy hormones. It can help with so many health, mental, physical, emotional health. So we will dance around basically, and then there will be maybe some brain games where you're moving your fingers funny. And then towards the end, we might do some meditation and dancing.
Mm.
So it's kind of, I kind of bring everything in that I've learned. And so there's some EFT in some of my classes. So we will do some tapping either in the middle or at the end, or some of my Korean yoga might be in there. But every time we do like a senior exercise where we're working the the joints and the flexibility. I'm like, we're in a laughter class, everybody. What happens in a laughter class? And we just laugh.
Yeah.
And it's just silly and fun
That's
and really good for you.
Yeah, that's so fun. I like how you shared kind of what results it brings to you, like lower blood pressure or, more happiness, because even the sign behind you, for those of you who are just listening and not watching, says laughing for wellness. I love that. So, what are some ways that you would challenge the listeners to laugh more? Like, how can we get from only laughing 10 times a day to laughing more?
So it seems silly, but laughing will raise the vibration, not just of you, not just your mood, but it actually helps the community, the world, right? So it, you could laugh, like tack it on to a existing habit, right? So while you're showering, you can get 10 to 15 minutes in while you're getting dressed in the morning, right? So just laugh, and you can laugh silently. Nobody even has to know. Your body doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're laughing on purpose. It doesn't care if you're making any noise. But what I do sometimes is I set a timer for a minute in the morning, and I will start laughing, whatever I'm doing. And then the timer will go off. I will have forgotten that I was laughing. You say restart, right? Repeat, and then you laugh. And so you do that while you're getting dressed. You get all your laughter in.
Yeah.
A couple other things I think that you could, especially in corporate, especially in an office situation, we all have silly stories about ourselves, something ridiculous that we did. Like, I mean, I would say once a day, but like periodically, go tell one of those stories to someone. Just be silly.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to make them laugh. You're going to smile. You're going to laugh and just play. Like when we were together, healing together, we would run and play in the sprinklers. Like we were the 5 to 6 adults in the kids at those like water parks at the park,
Yeah.
not wild waves, like where there's just water coming out of the
Yeah.
ground next to the swing set. You skip down the street, like even when the people with me were laughing at me, it was still fun.
Hmm.
I mean, it's silly little things like that. Like it go to the toy store, buy some gadget that makes you smile and put it on your desk in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And
Mhm.
when did the EFT side come into play?
So the EFT, so I'm not sure, it came into play around the same time. So I had been trying to do EFT tapping, right? So for the listeners who don't know, it's tapping on certain acupressure points that make your system feel calm and safe while you talk about something upsetting so that it can kind of reprogram your brain and release energy blocks. And I had been trying to do it myself. And the difference between doing like scripts or there's some really good apps out there like the tapping solution or YouTube videos that are amazing and people have great breakthroughs, but I wasn't getting those. Right, I'm watching these videos and I'm like, oh, I want the silver bullet, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean it would calm me down, which is no small feat, right? Because it lowers your stress immediately, but it wasn't healing me. And right around the same time as I discovered laughter yoga, I mean, everybody knows how to laugh, right? So at the same exact time, you get like 50, I don't know how many spam emails a day, right? I decided to open one, and it wasn't even about EFT. It was about, I didn't even know it was called emotional freedom technique, which is
Hmm.
what EFT stands for. I just knew it as tapping. And I opened some email from some affiliate, and it was just like one of the 100 emails I got that day. And it was for an informational session on being certified in the clinical version of EFT, which that's when you work with a practitioner, or me, the practitioner,
Hmm.
or I'll lead a group tapping event where we all tap on the same thing, or you tap along while I have somebody up front tapping on their thing. And I went to the info session and I was like, I think this is it. Now, had it been 6 months into the laughter, would I have done the same? I don't know, but they came at exactly the same time. And I'm pretty sure the universe did that. So I do them both.
I'm curious for anyone who, we're speaking to business owners, entrepreneurs here. We do have a lot of mindset blocks that we have to work through, whether it's like something physical that happened or something mental, or, sometimes it's stuff that we don't even know about, like pricing ourselves or fear of like showing up. These are all things that, from my knowledge, EFT can help you work through, correct?
Yes, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
amazing for that type of stuff.
Yeah. So when someone is wondering, like, okay, I can't show up. I hear this all the time. Like, I can't show up in my podcast. I don't like, I'm afraid to be on camera. I
Mhm.
don't know, like, if I'm worthy of being listened to, whether they know that's the issue or not. How can EFT help them?
Well, so where that comes from is something, whether it's a core belief or something that happened where they did show up and were criticized, or any number of things. The way that EFT works is something occurred that created this belief or this feeling or this fear, and then everything that happened after that kind of stacks on top of it and kind of reinforces it, and every time it happens again, it reinforces it again until you're reluctant to move forward. I had to
Yeah.
talk myself through getting the course finished, through launching my laughter events, through all the time. And so what EFT will do is you sit down and you're tapping these points that make your body feel calm.
Hmm.
Now, what's happening is your brain isn't actually processing what's going on now. It's remembering something that happened before. It's like, it's very smart and lazy at the same time, right? It's like, what is this scenario like? Oh, I'm supposed to react with fear. And then, that keeps you from doing something. It puts you in fight or flight. So what calming your system down while talking and acknowledging the thing that is going on, it does the neuroplasticity, and it reprograms you so that what seemed insurmountable is doable.
Hmm.
And what'll happen is you are like, there's no way I'm getting on that stage. There's no way I'm showing up for my podcast, right?
Yeah.
And then we tap through it. We're like, even though I'm afraid to get on that stage, I accept myself and how I'm feeling. Even though I just know that I'm going to bomb on the stage, that's okay. And I'm safe right here, right now. And you keep saying those things until your mindset shifts.
Yeah.
And you would be amazed at the end of a session how silly the thing was that you walked in with.
Oh, I'm
Right.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, just bringing the stress down, and then kind of, how often do you say, oh, I'm angry, I'm scared, and just say it? No, you don't like let your body feel it,
Yeah.
right? You say, just get over it, just do it, just go do it, right? But telling your body that it's okay to feel that it the way that it does, and then asking it for help essentially, can get you over so many hurdles.
Mm, I love that. I think that a lot of people will benefit from even just knowing that this exists and that it's a tool that they can use. And you teach people or help them through this, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So what does that look like when you help them?
Well, so there's several ways I do group sessions. So like with cancer support groups, or medical trauma, or I'm working on one now that is like bringing more joy and laughter into your life. And, so that we would just tap away the blocks. But when you work one-on-one, we sit down and we talk about what's going on. And while we're tapping, you're accessing your subconscious. Like we operate on 95% of our operation is subconscious, but that 5% keeps us from kind of dropping in, right? And that 5% is what makes us react crazy on the road when somebody cuts us off or cuts line in the grocery store, and like your brain goes berserk instead of like, I mean, maybe their dog just died, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
so what you're doing is, so we're tapping while we talk, and then I will figure out the questions to ask and the words to use for those phrases while we're tapping through the points, and they're specific to you.
Mm.
So, and then as we tap through and we start kind of peeling the layers down and you start feeling better, maybe you feel it in your chest or your hip. And that's the stuck energy that we're trying to move out. Maybe we don't even drop that far into pain and moving the energy around and clearing it out. But as we drop in, what it does is it lets your subconscious tell us what's behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that example I gave about being left alone on the playground because your parents got stuck in traffic, like something that, I mean, it happens, right?
Yeah.
And we think no big deal. Well, if your parents weren't able to make you feel like it was no big deal, no fault of their own. So that's the kind of stuff that we end up going back to, whether it's something last week or last month or even in the future, because your body doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future when it's reacting. And so what we do is we just work through any emotion, any body sensation, what you're feeling, and let your subconscious kind of wake up and clear the energy, tell us where we need to go. And it can be magical.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. Okay. And where can people connect with you to learn more about that and the laughter yoga? Do they have to be here in Seattle?
No, the best part about both of these things is that you can do them online. So my website and the business name that I came up with is Your Smiling Soul. So .com, right? Right now I have Facebook business page, but that's it for social.
Okay.
Hopefully down the road, maybe, since this is a podcast, I'll be out there on other platforms. But online, I have a number of weekly free and paid sessions that you can join where we do laughter or EFT. I will do EFT events with groups where you can sign up, and it'll be maybe a one-time free session, or maybe it'll be a 4-week series that has to do with, bringing more joy in your life or living with cancer or, whatever topic comes out. And then one-on-one sessions can be done online or in person. And then there's all the private events, right? So going to corporate and doing something at your company picnic, or I go to a lot of senior living places.
Mm.
As seniors, it's so beneficial. I mean, the oxygen, the breathing, the lung capacity, blood pressure, sleep. I mean, so many things that it can help with. And so I will actually go to the community centers or the senior living retirement communities
Yeah.
and do events. So a lot of my actual revenue comes from doing the events. And then I'll do individual, like if summer is coming up, this sign is what I put up in the park when there's a group of us laughing. And at the bottom, after laughing for wellness, it says, join us.
Yeah.
I want people to walk by and see us goofing around like penguins and to join in, because,
Yeah.
you know, they got more than 10 laughs today.
True. True. That's so fun. Okay, I'll definitely put those links in the show notes for everyone to go check out. And I just love what you're doing. I feel like this conversation's really important to have because in business, we take ourselves so seriously, right? And
Mhm.
also, like you said, here in Seattle, it's kind of a serious place sometimes,
Yeah.
but I always try to find the joy in there's some interesting people here too. So I always try to just find the joy and laugh it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I really think that, on the other side of things, like we don't laugh enough, but also we don't let ourselves have such creative businesses either. Because, like you said, like when you left software engineering, you thought about going back, but like you said, no, I have to make money some other fun way. We don't give ourselves the freedom to explore creative paths like laughing for wellness. So I really hope that the listeners listen to this and maybe even go down a path like you of like, okay, I just want to laugh, I want to have fun, I want to help people. What can I do? And take a step to doing something fun like you are.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you. It is so important and it is so missing in a lot of places. And yeah, I mean, we need to lighten things up, right? It's pretty intense out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It really is.
A lot of
Yeah.
my friends are techie people, right? And so some of them are not surprised at all that this is where I ended up. Like, okay, you found your calling, right? But some of them think that I'm a lunatic, right? So, but they will still come because they support me. And then they will say things like, okay, that was fun.
Right. Right.
Right. So it's been interesting and it's gonna continue to be interesting, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, I always think that like if someone thinks you're ridiculous, then you're probably doing something cool.
I like that. I'm gonna have to write that down. Put that on my quotes page on the website.
Yes.
Uh,
Well, this has been so fun. So, Tony, we talked about doing some demos so people could really see what you offer and hear us do it together, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous for the laughing part, but we're facing our fears. So, why don't you just lead us in this?
okay, let's do some laughter yoga. Okay,
Okay.
so what I want you to do is we're gonna raise our hands over our head and we're just gonna take a deep breath in. Don't worry, we're just only gonna breathe this time. So raise your arms over your head and breathe in. Hold your arms up, hold your breath in, hold it, and then just breathe out and pull your hands down in front. Good, you know how to breathe. Let's do it again. Raise your arms up while we breathe in. Hold it, and then just breathe out again. Lowering your hands and try and breathe out more than your inhale. So you can even lean forward and breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out through your mouth. Yeah, breathe out. Okay, now we're going to take another deep breath in, arms overhead. Hold it, hold it. And now we're going to use laughter as our exhale. And I'm going to make you do it for 10 seconds. Ready?
Hmm.
And we do it here in between our exercises. And this is part of our play, get into play. And we clap our hands. We say, very good, very good. Yay!
Yay!
Celebrating our laughter,
I
right?
love it. I love it.
So we'll do two more just so I can show you penguins.
Okay.
Keep talking about waddling like a penguin.
Yeah.
So we open up all three lobes of our lungs as our warm up each time. So we're going to do the upper lobe of our lungs. We're going to put our hands in reverse namaste position and then put them behind your head. And if you can't get them all the way behind your head, you put them on your shoulders or just on top of your head. The idea is to open your chest up.
Hmm.
And so we're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to pull our elbows back and open our chest. And then when we laugh out, we are butterflies. So we are moving our elbows back and forth like a
Okay.
butterfly. Okay.
Okay.
So take a deep breath in, hold it, hold it, and we laugh. Very good. Very good.
Funny.
Yay.
Yay.
And one of the other things about laughter that I haven't mentioned, it's not like we're not doing a whole class, but is that you don't even have to be using your real laughter. You can be ho, ho, ha, ha, all day long, or
Mm,
whenever you need to have a little bit of a boost.
yeah.
One of the things for the corporates out there, or anyone who is trying to be efficient and get more productivity,
Yeah.
a 5-minute laughter break is equivalent to a 20-minute like regular break where you just kind of go to get a coffee or go to the bathroom. So you can actually gain a lot of time in your day if you were to use laughter as your break time.
Oh, very cool. Good to know. I love that. Thanks so much for showing us those.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know if you want to we waddle like a penguin. Basically, you take a deep breath in and then you just waddle around the room.
I love that.
Anything, right? Like some of
Yeah.
the themes are zoo themes or aquarium, or I've got one where you're going to the airport, you're taking a flight, right? You're getting through security, beep, beep, the grocery store, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Just turn them into something silly. And what I've found is here in the States, in the Western world, things need to be a little bit silly or funny. you,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can't just say laugh.
Oh, okay. Interesting. No, I love those. Thanks so much for walking us through those. Do you want to go over the EFT tapping now?
Sure. Let's do, we're going to do a breathing. And in hindsight, we should have done these in reverse.
Okay.
This is going to open up your lung capacity. And so what I'm going to have you do is just take a deep breath and breathe out. And this one's going to show kind of how EFT can affect physically. So take another deep breath in and out. And I'm going to have you rate on a scale of 0 to 10 how much oxygen you can get into your lungs. Now, before you answer, and 10 is like completely full, 0 is can't breathe at all.
Mhm.
But before you answer, I'm going to tell you that each lung has a 3-liter capacity.
Wow.
So that is more than your body,
Oh
right?
my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, and it can actually expand even more, like for when you're exercising. So where on a scale of 0 to 10 do you think you're kind of how deep you can breathe is right now before we start?
I feel like I can breathe deep, maybe like an 8.
Okay. So we're going to start on the side of our hand. And so 8's pretty high, which is good. So you're going to repeat after me. Well, actually, first let me show you the points.
Okay.
So the side of the hand is like where you would karate chop something in a movie between your wrist and your pinky, that bone. And the point is somewhere in the middle, but I use all of my fingers on the side of my hand. And that way you're not going to miss the point.
Okay.
These are acupressure points. So it's like they call it acupuncture without the needles, right?
Yeah.
You're tapping the same things that the acupressure people are doing. So, and there are 9 points total in the basic that we're going to be doing today. The next point is on the very center of the top of your head. So if you were to put your thumb in your ear and then meet your fingers up top, that's the point.
Okay.
And then again, I use all of my fingers in the center, so you're not going to miss the point.
Okay.
All right. So the next point is what we call the eyebrow point. And that is right where your eyebrow starts on that bone that circles your eye. And you can use either hand, either side, or you can do both.
Okay.
Yeah, good. And then the next point is the side of your eye. So it's directly on the same bone, right on the side, right on the side.
Okay.
And then the next one is on that same bone. It's under the eye, and it would be right, if you're looking forward, it would be right under your pupil. And so you're
Okay.
tapping on that bone.
Okay.
All right. And then the next one is under your nose. There's a little divot there above your lip before your nose. And that one we tap right there.
Okay.
And then under the lip, you've got a little chin divot,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you tap.
Okay.
And then the collarbone point is somewhat the trickiest for most people. So I'm going to lead you to it. It's under the collarbone, but the way you find it is you stick your finger, there's a V where your collarbone kind of meets each other.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the bottom of the V with your finger and then go an inch further down. And then
Okay.
about an inch over to one side or the other. And there should be a little softish spot compared to the rest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you look like you're in the right place.
Yep.
Then again, I just use my whole hand to tap that area. So then you won't miss the part. You won't
Okay.
miss the point. And then the very last one is easy for us women and not so hard for guys either, but it's under your arm and it's right where your bra strap would be.
Okay.
And you can do it by reaching across your body. Some people do this like monkey.
Yeah.
You're up and you're like flapping at yourself. I find that one more difficult than reaching across.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, I think I just figured out why. It depends on how big your chest is.
Probably right.
I don't have a problem reaching across, right? And then we go back up to the top. So
Okay.
the side of the hand is only while we're doing what we call the setup phrases, where we kind of acknowledge what we're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
This is specific to breathing. So we're going to go on the side of the hand, and you're going to repeat after me what I say.
Okay.
Even though I feel like I can't take a completely full breath,
Even though I feel like I can't take a completely full breath,
I give my body permission to relax.
I give my body permission to relax.
Even though my breathing feels maybe a little bit tight,
Even though my breathing feels maybe a little bit tight,
I am open to the possibility of feeling differently.
I am open to the possibility of feeling differently.
Even though I feel this tightness in my chest,
Even though I feel this tightness in my chest,
I give myself permission to breathe deeply and fully.
I give myself permission to breathe deeply and fully.
Yeah. Some of them, sometimes I say a little bit too long of phrases to remember. So even though I can breathe into a level 8,
Even though I can breathe into a level 8,
there's still a few points of expansion I can have.
there's still a few points of expansion I can have.
And I give my body permission to expand fully.
And I give my body permission to expand fully.
All right, let's go to the top of the head. I would love to take a nice deep breath.
I would love to take a nice deep breath.
Eyebrow points. And I'm doing this tapping thing.
And I'm doing this tapping thing.
It's a little strange.
It's a little strange.
And I must look funny.
And I must look funny.
Side of the eye. But Toni says it might do something good.
But Toni says it might do something good.
Under the eye. My breathing is kind of tight.
My breathing is kind of tight.
And under the nose. And I'm open to it being less tight.
And I'm open to being less tight.
Under the lip. I give my body permission to relax.
I give my body permission to relax.
Down to the collarbone points. I would love to take a super deep breath.
I would love to take a super deep breath.
Under the arm. I would love to just relax.
I would love to just relax.
Top of the head. Even though there might be a bit of restriction,
Even though there might be a bit of restriction,
my breath is starting to open up.
my breath is starting to open up.
Eyebrow points. This breathing,
This breathing,
side of the eye. My lungs can expand.
my lungs can expand.
I give myself permission to expand fully.
I give myself permission to expand fully.
My breathing is starting to open up.
My breathing is starting to open up.
under the lip. It feels good to release this restriction.
It feels good to release this restriction.
Collarbone point. I allow my lungs to expand fully.
I allow my lungs to expand fully.
Under the arm. Deep breathing.
Deep breathing.
Top of the head. I welcome relaxation into my body.
I welcome relaxation into my body.
Eyebrow point. I choose to breathe deeply and fully.
I choose to breathe deeply and fully.
Side of the eye. Feeling more open and relaxed.
Feeling more open and relaxed.
Under the eye, trusting my body to breathe with ease.
Trusting my body to breathe with ease.
All right, so I want you just to take a deep breath and breathe out. And take another breath and breathe out. And let me know if anything has changed for you.
Yeah, that's actually, I wasn't sure if it would, but I can breathe actually a lot deeper now.
Oh, I'm so glad, because when you said 8, I was like, oh no.
No, that was like, wow, that's great. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for showing me that.
You're welcome.
That's really powerful. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Toni. Well, I've had so much fun with you. This has been such a fun conversation. I just have one last question for you before we wrap up this interview. I would
Mhm.
love it if you could share 3 action steps for the audience to take based on this conversation.
Oh my goodness, only 3. All right, so let's see. Well, thank you. I've enjoyed myself as well. Thank you so much, Haley. So 3 action steps. I'm going to say that in the morning, just once this week, if not tomorrow morning, I want you to. So, what happens is you wake up and then you realize you're awake and then you open your eyes, right? And your conscious starts working. Before you do any of that, I want you just to smile. I want you just to, I wake up, smile, and just kind of feel what happens in your brain. Because smiling will kick off those happy hormones. And I can't remember if it's dopamine or serotonin, but one of them is the lowest of the day, right around 8 o'clock in the morning.
Interesting.
Laughing in the morning, smiling in the morning is a big deal for you. And then I think my tips are, I kind of spit them out earlier. So, okay, how about this one? I want you to skip down the sidewalk.
Okay.
And make somebody laugh. Doesn't even have to be more than a few steps.
Okay, I love that. Very doable.
Yeah, and that one could cover your playing. It can cover your dancing as well. There's 4 elements to joy. Singing, which I didn't make you do
Thank
in
you.
my laughter class, dancing, playing, and laughing. So, and then let's go with, I mean, if you are courageous enough, Dr. K, he wants to raise the, healing through laughter. So I want you to set a timer for a minute and laugh for world peace. World peace through laughter.
I love it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So those
So
are my
fun.
steps.
I love them. Thank you so much, Toni. I'll put all of your links in the show notes to where people can connect with you, but thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Haley. This is fabulous.
Thank you for listening to the Employee to Boss podcast. If you made it to the end of this episode, I hope that you implement the actionable steps from this week's experts so you can get started with your business today. Please rate, review, and subscribe to the Employee to Boss podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. It helps more than you could ever imagine. Remember, a little progress each day leads to big results. We come out with a new episode every Tuesday. To access our show notes, transcripts, and courses, please check out espressopodcastproduction.com.